My wife and I were the leaders, or still are the leaders, of Discovering the Word, which is a main community group there. Was at McLean, not anymore. We only taught the Bible. Nate Reed did not like that. He wanted us to, when they brought out Multiply, which was predicated by Pastor Dale Sutherland, which was all leading up to an indoctrination to the SBC, because that's what the SBC does. They teach from books. They wanted to prepare us, because our Constitution says we're not allowed to affiliate outside of being an independent Bible church. So they were trying to prepare us. This is me looking back now. They were trying to prepare us for becoming members of the SBC, becoming a Baptist church, members of the SBC. And that's where they got, their main focus is multiplying churches, creating churches, which they have done very effectively. And this is what Multiply was all about. And our charter was to teach from the Bible. So I would get Bible teachers to come in and teach. Not currently, they're using strictly pastors at the church to teach, young kids basically, to come in and teach books of the Bible. When Nate Reed came to me and said, well, you need to bring in pastors as your teachers. I said, I can't do that. He goes, why? I said, all of my teachers I get for 6 Sundays. And with the 6 Sundays, that gives me, 12, 13 teachers for the year. And I said, but that means I have to go find 50, well, maybe 48 pastors to come in and teach books of the Bible. You can't do that in an hour and 20 minutes. To the depth of what these people need to learn about the Bible. We were waiting when the church was shut down. We were holding Discovering the Word on Zoom. I got a call from Nate Reed saying, we're going to give you a classroom. Okay. And we want you to come in on 9/11 of all days. It's a Saturday, 2021. And we'll show you your room that you hold your class in. I said, great. So we went there in advance and scouted the rooms that were available. But then when we went, he said, meet me down at the Smith Center. I'm thinking in my mind, why? Why the Smith Center? We're going upstairs. They said, well, we're going to step into this room to talk. And I went, why? We're just here to see the room. We have other places to go. So we went in there to talk. And it was a complete setup. Nate Reed started, he said, let's say a prayer. I said, okay, we'll say a prayer, and started the meeting. Wayne Fito was there in attendance, Elder Wayne Fito at the time. And they started off by saying, we understand that you've been sending negative emails about the church. And I said, I've not sent one negative email about the church. And he says, well, I have a stack. He had a stack with him. And he said that your name's on each and every one of them. I said, well, yeah, my name's on every email. I don't hide anything. And he said, on each email you wrote, read it, think about it, pray about it, make up your own mind. Well, I said, that's right, on every one. He says, you made no other comment. And I said, no. He says, so as far as we're concerned, you and Pamela, my wife who was in attendance, you all did nothing wrong. I said, I know. And he said, but do you think it's indicative of our community leaders to send out emails about the church? I said, my class members are asking questions. These emails were plausible. I said, these aren't all the emails I received. I mean, I deleted hundreds of emails. We think, we feel, along those lines. Some are conspiracy theories about McLean. I didn't send them, I deleted them. But the ones that were plausible, I forwarded on. As I said, think about it, read about it, pray about it, make up your own mind. And since we had 2 people in your class send us these emails, I said, well, fine, my name's on all of them. You could have called me anytime. And he said, well, since you've admitted to sending these emails, and I said, Wayne, my name's on the emails. Of course I sent them. And he says, well, we want to know why you did it. And I said, because I want my people to know what's going on. If you don't like what's being sent, if you don't agree with what's being sent, you can always refute it. You can get up there and say, hey, here's what's being said. Let's talk about it. Let's get another congregational meeting going, or something along those lines. And he said that senior committee, senior staff, they don't agree with that, neither do the elders. And I said, by that time, I'm getting upset. But Nate Reed started to talk. He said that that you and Pamela aren't the kind of leaders that we want at McLean Bible Church. And I said, Nate, we've been handling Discovering the Word for 8.5 years. If someone didn't think we were doing it right, as far as leaders are concerned, you would have said something. I said, on top of that, we have an elder in our class, John Baber. He's an elder of this church. I said, on top of that, we had the remaining founder of McLean Bible Church, Betty Wright. She's also a member of our class. If either one of them thought that something was being said, or because they get the same emails that you got, I sent it to them. If they didn't agree with it, and they thought there was slander involved, then they would have said something to me, but they never did. And I talked to John Baber constantly. He says, well, the elders have decided in unison to vote you and Pamela out as leaders. And I said, I don't think so. He says, what do you mean? I said, John Baber didn't vote me out. And I talked to John just the night before this meeting. And he didn't say anything about it. Well, we were supposed to keep this secret. I said, nah, nothing's that secret. And so Nate Reed started to spout off. And so I just got up. I told Pamela, let's go, and started to walk out. Now, Nate Reed announced that she says, well, you can no longer use Discovering the Word. You can no longer attend Discovering the Word. You can't even use their name. So I turned around and I looked and I said, Nate, you have no intellectual property rights to Discovering the Word. Discovering the Word belongs to the class. The class started it. The class will end it when they want to end it. And I said, until then, Discovering the Word goes on. It may not be here, but it'll be somewhere, wherever the Lord provides. And I said, no, I'll send out an email to that effect. Then Nate Reed says, well, I'm going to send out an email. I said, well, send out an email. And so in our minds, it would take about, you would think, a couple hours to gin up because he, had other things to do. So by the time we were driving around doing some things, and to get a phone call from someone said, hey, we got this scathing email about you and Pamela. And I said, oh yeah? And I said, what was the timestamp on it? He goes, she gave us the timestamp, which happened to be 15 minutes after we left the meeting. 15 minutes, which tells me that he had pre-typed the email letter already and had it ready to go, and that they had already had foreknowledge that they were going to fire us anyway, as if they were bringing us in to embarrass us. Because I had asked them when the meeting started, is this being recorded? They went, no, it's not being recorded, which I found out later it was being recorded. I have an elder of the church, Wayne Fito. He lied to me. They already knew what they were going to do. When this whole thing went down, I lost 16 members right off the bat. They came up to me and said, we're out of here, you lied to us. I said, can I talk to you about it? He goes, nope. We believe what the church is saying, what Nate Reed said, and left. And it got really, really nasty after that. And I didn't really need that for me. So I was walking around with a lot of anger. And I didn't want to do that. But I kept going. I trust the Lord. I prayed to the Lord. I asked for forgiveness. I forgave Platt and Fito for what they did. I got calls and asked if would I like to be an elder. And I said, sure, put me in. But I never made it to give my testimony. Never made it up on stage to give my testimony at all. My name had been stricken out by Platt. That's what I was told.